Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Wildflowers Garden and welcome back to the Georgian Wildlife Garden, my new home for the last month. And if you haven't seen already, I'll put a link at the end of this one to a couple of previous videos to show you my new challenges, my new garden to play with, and one that I really hope to make absolutely invaluable for wildlife over the next few months and indeed years. This is a 1 acre plot which is going to be quite a transformation in the fullness of time. But before we do anything with the garden itself, I've got to make sure the boundaries are secure for our 3 dogs, Sirius, Frank and Luna, who you will no doubt have already seen. If you haven't, I'm sure they'll feature in this video. Luna is down here ready to throw, oh no, wanting me to throw her bone for her. So yes, one of the jobs we're going to be doing, which is today's video, is replacing this fence. We're putting a nice post and rail, a very country style fence up along the edge of the driveway, which is going to go right the way down there, all the way over to the side of the house, where I'm going to put another pedestrian gate as well, just to keep them in the garden, because we can keep an eye on them a lot more easily if they are within the main part of the garden itself. There was Luna shooting off to go and inspect the boundary. They're very good guard dogs, but of course they can jump quite high as well. So this is going to be at least 4 feet, hopefully 4'6", to try and deter them. So stick around as we do one of the less interesting jobs, putting up a fence, but it'll be a nice transformation. It'll give a nice defined edge to the edge of the driveway, but it's also going to provide me with lots of potential for planting in front and behind of, to tie in with the already really beautiful block of honeysuckle that's over there, and a couple more clematis which are along the edge of the driveway, which were planted by some of the previous owners. So we want to incorporate those. We're not looking to remove any of that vegetation. It's great nesting potential. It'll be flowering soon, and I really want to sort of move it onto the new fence when it's up. So stick around and watch how we can take out this existing fence, which is pretty much just a bit of loose wire, which is very easy for them to jump over at the moment, and turn it into something a little bit more dog proof, and hopefully another habitat for wildlife in the fullness of time. So first find of the day, well, 2 finds actually. One, we have this fence post, which was obviously part of an old gate post from before. So interesting to see that. And if I move this spade, you can see down here we've got an old pipe, which could be housing the electric to the house. We don't actually know. There's a foam wire which goes in above my head, so I know it's not the BT wire or the foam wire that goes into the house. I'm not going to obviously try and attempt to dig it up or do anything with it. It is relatively shallow. It could also be the power supply for the garage. Over that side we've got an old barn, which yeah, a job for another day. I'd like to convert that at some point. It's got a bit of a workshop with it at the moment, but half the roof is actually missing on the back side, so half is good and all safe and secure, but the other half is open and exposed to the elements, has been for many years. So a lovely old ruin. I'd love to get a barn owl box on that actually. Too many jobs to do. Anyway, these 2 windows, while I'm here, interestingly enough, you might like to know, are the 2 windows for the basement, cellar, whatever you call that space underneath your house, depending on where you are from in the world. But they're really 2 lovely little windows, which are great. So if you're wondering if there was a second house underneath this one where a hobbit lived, it's not. It's just the two windows for the basement. Yeah, so that's the first find within the first hole. So starting this end to get the gate up, I'm really desperately trying to get the gate in and the fencing done very quick. This end, because in here we actually have a wren nest. Now the female is not currently sat on eggs. I just had a check this morning because obviously I don't want to disturb them, and there were 2 eggs yesterday. There's 3 eggs today. The birds in general, what they will do, they will usually lay an egg every day until they've finished laying, and then they will start incubating once they've finished laying their clutch. So a wren will have somewhere between 4 to 7 eggs probably, possibly more depending on the year they're having. It's a pretty dry year so far this year in April. We're now in May, of course, but yeah, so I'm trying to get out of the way of this wren very quickly. So just trying to build the gate on this end, and then we can start moving off down that part of the driveway. Okay, so day 2, and we had a bit of a late one last night, a late start yesterday because we had to go and get the gate posts and the gates and all the fixings and everything, but it was well worth it because we've now got a fully functioning gate at this end, this nice 4-foot wide pedestrian gate, which is nice access down to the back of the house. So yeah, really good job. We got these in, got this post bolted to the wall and cut to size so it mirrors the post on that side. So yeah, quite a nice finish. Obviously, if you're looking for anything like this along with the wildlife gardens, wildlife ponds, anything like that, drop me a line, inquiries@hazelwoodlandscapes.com. I can help you out with all of this. I don't just work on my own property. Yes, and then we got a few more posts in along this edge so we can carry on the fencing round, which is now going off in that direction into the undergrowth and yeah, away from the wren, which is in that bush there. There's nothing there in there at the moment. I've just checked this morning, there's another egg been laid, so we're up to 4 wren eggs now, so I'm really pleased. That's why we wanted to sort of crack on and get away from that bush yesterday, and she's been in and laid another egg in there. So yes, working around this side now, so shouldn't disturb her for the rest of the day. Then we've got to tackle the back all along there behind the shrubbery, take out the existing fencing and head off down to the corner where the blockwork wall is. So a lot of posts to get in today, so stay tuned because I have a little bit of an explanation shortly as to why these posts and this fence is going in at this height. So interesting bit of history here. I'm just digging this hole in the middle of the undergrowth. We're just coming along from where we'd finished off last night, and we're heading off down in that direction somewhere. And all of the holes up until this point have been a bit tough. They've been pretty dry, but it's all been lovely, well-drained soils. Almost no stone whatsoever. When the moles have been digging in the lawn / meadow over the last couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks that we've been here, it's all been like perfect growing soil. It really is well-drained sandy soils. However, I get to this hole and I get about 6 inches down and it's really stony, really gravelly. And then I remember seeing the photo that we found of this house that was taken in 1908, which shows the driveway and the entrance coming up to the front of the house, which is where they would have brought the old horse and carts or the carriages up to the front of the house for the lord and lady of the manor. So, and the driveway since has been moved away from the front of the house, I don't know when, and put to almost the back of the house. But they would have come through this way from the main road, which is over that way, to get to the front of the house. And so I think that all this stone that I'm finding in this hole, as you can see, there's lots of stone in here, is all part of the old driveway. And to add to that theory, I've just buried it up, buried it over, but here you go. Here is a piece of pottery that I've just found. A lovely little piece of pottery, which I'm not sure how old that is. It looks quite old. Remember, this house was built 201 years ago, we believe. So this could have been either used as a bit of broken up hardcore underneath the driveway, because I'm sort of now 2 or 3 inches down through the old gravel layer. So this could have been part of sort of some crushed up rubble or stone to make a hard pathway through or driveway through for the carriages. So I'm definitely going to keep that as a bit of history. So yes, what a fantastic find. Not fantastic for the spade or for my arms and back, but I shall persevere through it and let you know what else we find while we're putting in this fence. And just one more point to reaffirm my suspicions is this bit of brick down here right in the corner, as you can see, along with many other bits of limestone which would have been quarried not too far from here and used as a sub base underneath the gravel layer of the drive. So what a fantastic bit of history to find in the garden within the first month. So one of the things we are looking to keep and protect, which is growing along the edge of the drive, which I absolutely love, is all of this honeysuckle. Now, I'm not sure whether this is true native or indeed this is a slight variant, maybe known as Belgica, which is very similar to the English native honeysuckle, which is a cracking plant. I've already done a video on it, and I'll no doubt be featuring this when it flowers, because as you can see, it is almost, you can make that out as a little flower bud, and that is almost coming into flower now, and that is going to look absolutely stunning in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Luna's also found a pine cone which she really likes, don't you, Luna? Luna, come, sit, sit. Just can't even bring herself to sit. Luna, sit. Luna, down, down, down. Luna, down. Good girl, yes. She just loves to catch this thing. Now she's all proud, so yeah. Anyway, the honeysuckle is absolutely brilliant for many things. Obviously the flowers when they come out are going to be great as a nectar source. Many moth species, including some of our hawk moths, love nectaring on honeysuckle when it's in flower, as do many bees. And also it's very good for nesting potential as well. Inside here, I don't want to disturb the foliage too much, but it's a real tangle of branches and it just creates a really dense structure. So honeysuckle, obviously we do sell this on the Wild Garden online shop, thanks Luna, along with many other climbing plants, so do go and check those out. But it really is a cracking plant, and obviously I'm looking to retain this, and who knows, maybe I might extend it all the way down there, which would be absolutely beautiful. Honeysuckle hedge, never thought I'd have one of those, or indeed see one of those. I don't think I've ever seen one. And also, there you go. As I move along this way, we also have a lovely clematis. Not sure which one this is yet, but you can see it's about to flower as well. So I want to incorporate these. These are all hanging off the existing netting. So a lot of careful work needed to delicately pull all this out and then pin it back against the new fence when it's built. So yes, a lot of work to do in terms of keeping the existing foliage, but it's going to well be worth it. So as part of this fence, we're adding 2 new gates to it for access. One is this gorgeous 5-foot pedestrian gate, which is quite a specific size. Most people would either put a 3 or a 4 foot, or maybe a 6 foot, so quite specific. But it is specific because we have found something rather interesting. No doubt a full video to come on this, so stay tuned. But look at my feet. We've found an old brick path. Now, I've no idea how old this is, but if you come with me, it is all the way over here as well. So you can see these are all old bricks under here. So what a cracking find that is. And this goes out over towards the meadow area. Luna still wants me to throw the pine cone. It never ends here, honestly. I could have a tennis ball machine and the thing would run out of energy, or the motor would burn out before she would. And then we've got Frank waiting with his half a tree to pick up and chase around after her if I throw it, which I'm not going to, because then I'm obviously making a rod for my own back. Anyway, the path goes somewhere over there. So another story, another video for another day. But how cool is that there is this old brick path? So there was a gate here originally, so we thought it'd be really nice to reinstate that and put a 5-foot gate, which works out perfectly from one side of the path to the other. So a new gate going in here. We've got the gate we've just installed yesterday over at the side of the house, so then this will make this area completely fenced in and dog proof. And I'm going to reveal to you very shortly why we are making this area dog proof, and it's not for these 2 dogs here. Stay tuned. So we're nearing the end of the fence, but, well, the end of the post run. I just went to dig one of the last holes, and this is just part of the assortment of china and we are on stoneware and all sorts we're finding in this hole. I mean, there's some fascinating pieces that I've never seen in my life before. As you can imagine, I've dug a hole or two in my life, and there are some really interesting pieces in here. I'm going to have to send a lot of these to my friend Jess, who I met while I was working at Clapham, who is an official mudlarker, and she'll probably be wincing at the sight of this video and my digging methods, but there's just so much stuff coming out of this hole. This is obviously an old burial area for all the old houseware, crockery that perhaps got smashed, and because of course 200 years ago they just buried stuff. They didn't get rid of it like we do. I mean, look at that. This is one that I have found a few pieces of. It's got a lovely pattern to it. It's obviously a bowl, maybe an old salad bowl or something, but you can see close up there's a lovely faded pattern on that. But some of my more favoured pieces are things like this, with this lovely reddy pinky leaf pattern on, which are absolutely beautiful, along with, if I can find where I put it, there's a few here. This lovely pattern. Clean them off a little bit for you. So for any of you pottery experts out there, drop me a message. Hi Luna. It really is fantastic. Obviously we're going to keep all these. Found part of what looks like possibly a handle, or even the way that's curved down the sort of the lip of a jug, possibly an old milk jug or something. But what an incredible find. Yeah, so progress is slow today. So we'll carry on and see what else we can find. Right, that is all the fence posts and 2x gates in down to the corner. Now it's time for the netting before we put the rails on. Even after 20 years of doing jobs like this, it's never too late to split your thumb open and hit it with a hammer. Word to the wise, watch your fingers when you're hitting nails into anything. Right, that's the first section of hopefully dog-proof mesh on. Now it's time to add a few rails. We now have pretty much all of that section complete down to this second gate which goes into the back garden, and now we just have the final section to do over to Luna's boundary, the Reese block wall over there. So better get cracking. Okay, well, there you have it. 1 times dog-proof fence, hopefully, fingers crossed, all the way from the corner of the house, right the way down here, past the gate and over to the corner over there. Now, a few moments ago, I said to you that there was a reason we're putting this fence in, and it wasn't just to keep Frank and Luna and Sirius in. Now, that reason is because we have decided, I don't quite know why, to take on 2 more rescue dogs. Yes, I know. We will soon be the proud owners of 5 dogs, sadly. Sadly for the food that we'll need to feed them. But anyway, no, I really can't wait. Jokes to one side. We have decided to look after 2 more rescue dogs. These are 2 dogs that are in a dire state in Romania currently. We're waiting for the news for when they can be driven over to the UK so that we can give them a new home. They are 2 Belgian Malinois. So like Luna, but a bit bigger. Luna is a bit of a runt of the pack, so these are a bit bigger, more like Frank's size, and very shy, very timid dogs. We've seen videos of them. They've been in a kill shelter, and they're now in a slightly better situation where they are in a rescue centre in Romania still, but they still need a home. They're just in a concrete pen basically, and they've seen very little in the way of daylight for the last few years. So really can't wait to get them here, start giving them a new lease of life. They're both around about 5 or 6, possibly 7 years old, so they're slightly older dogs, but obviously age doesn't matter when you're rescuing a dog. I think it's just wonderful to give them that chance at life that they've all wanted, because all dogs feel the same. They only ever want to be loved, and we all know how incredible dogs are at forgiving people and trusting humans even when they've been through the most awful of situations in life. So another video to come on that very soon. I can't wait to welcome them here. So we had to get all this fencing in to show the lady, Jill. I'll put a link to one of their videos at the end of this one. They are amazing. Penny Paws Rescue. They don't have a lot of followers, but they really do great work, along with many other rescue charities, dog rescue charities around the UK. So please, if you're thinking about getting a dog, please rescue a dog. Don't buy a new puppy. There are thousands of dogs in homes, in rescue centres that need a home, that have been in a rescue centre their entire lives. They don't know what it's like to live inside someone's house. So please consider a rescue dog if you can. But yes, one of the things we had to get sorted was the fence. I know we've got another boundary fence on the other side to the road, so it's not the end of the world, but we wanted them to be secure. We wanted to make sure they can't escape, hence the netting, hence the measures I've gone to get all this fencing in. But I really can't wait. So I will update you on that soon. We're hoping by early June the dogs will be here. Fingers crossed they can get a trip on the Happy Bus and get over to us as soon as possible. So I'll keep you posted on that one. And my thumb, by the way, it's been a couple of days since the last video. My thumb is healing quite rapidly. Just because I know you're all thinking that, obviously. Anyway, yes, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Obviously, make the most of your vertical spaces. That's what I'd say to take away from this video. If you take away nothing else, make sure you get some spaces where you can use some climbing plants. Vertical space is just as important for nesting birds, for butterflies, for bees, for pollinators in general. It's just amazing. Make the most of your vertical spaces. Obviously, I'm going to be doing lots of planting along all of this bare fence in the fullness of time, so more videos to come on that. And as I said before, if you're looking for anything like this and more wildlife garden based, then do get in touch. Inquiries at Wild Your Garden or inquiries at Hazelwood Landscapes. We can supply you with plants, pond liner, the landscaping itself, obviously I do. So yes, do drop us a line. But thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to the video. Don't forget to check out the Georgian Wildlife Garden playlist, where I've got slightly more topical videos on wildlife gardening, the videos you're used to me creating. But I have still got some work to do on this. I'm going to make this more wildlife friendly. As I said, I'm going to put some climbers up this fence along with some other plants, and I've got the existing climbers. You can see the honeysuckles down there that I've then got to tie back. I've still got some of the tops of the posts to cut off, but I simply haven't had time. It's been a very busy week, so yeah, I haven't had chance. So Just a few finishing off bits to do, but thought I'd wrap this video up here so you can get a feel for it. And thank you as always for watching. Stay tuned, more videos to come very soon on how you can help wildlife in your own garden, and of course more tales from this Georgian wildlife garden. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all very soon.